Hello and welcome. Today in this recording, you'll see a couple of highlights of the Mortgage Cadence platform, or MCP for short. MCP is a cloud-based loan origination system that is hosted with Microsoft Azure. MCP is also written in HTML5, which means that it is device and web browser agnostic. So as a user, if I were to open up MCP on a smartphone or a tablet, I'm going to see a render to the available screen real estate that I have. I'm going to have full functionality whether I am on a smartphone or tablet to be able to run third-party services, order things like a new pre-approval letter, and communicate with borrowers through our loan notes, as well as communicate with other users on the system. When I first come in, I'm going to be greeted with a landing page. This can be assigned out to different departments. I'm in as an admin user for today's demo. But we can see here things that can be configurable by an admin to list out key announcements to the team, quick links. I also have access to Microsoft Power BI dashboards for reporting. We allow for reporting on not only the core fields that come in the system, but also our reserved or custom fields. Those can be tied into reports using Microsoft Power BI Pro to build those and then embed them onto MCP. So it can help for reporting on goals, executive reports, and have different reports available to the users that come into the system. Next up would be the pipeline dashboard. For me as an individual user, if I want to take a look at applications I have in progress, I can first come in, filter that down to look at applications. I'll see a total count over here in the top right. This is also where I would go in. I could check rates or explore pricing scenarios as well as creating new loans. Down below, I have access to filter or change what we see on the pipeline dashboard. So for me as a user, if I wanted to reorganize some of these columns, I could drag and drop them, move them around. And I'm going to see this floppy disk icon appear, which would allow me to save it and potentially set that as a new default view when I log in. Additionally, there's a column grouping and column filtering function. Column grouping allows me to take any of the columns that we see on this page. So status, for example, I would be able to drag and drop it to the top, and then it would segment my pipeline based upon that view. Now, these features are available in multiple pages within MCP, but it gives the user a way to change with their view, segment different loans and different statuses, and then maybe make some follow-up calls based upon that and batch those together. Next up, we're going to go to the tasking dashboard. I'm going to toggle over to another tab here, which is logged in as a processor user. On the tasking dashboard, we've taken the loan process and split it up into bite-sized pieces. We do support multiplayer on MCP, which means concurrent users can be in a loan at the same time, and you can have parallel processing of that loan. To do so, tasks are dynamically assigned out to different departments based upon either a status change or a different event occurring in the system. An example of an event could be a loan being locked or a document being uploaded or communication from a borrower. And then from here, I have access to those same features, column grouping, where I could take, and I'll show on here, dragging and dropping the task column up to the top, and it would segment those tasks. So if I wanted to batch my appraisal review tasks together, I'd have access to those loans where I needed to complete it and complete those here. I also have access to all of the tasks within a department. That's useful if I'm covering for someone who might be on PTO or out of the office to be able to make sure some of these things don't go missed. Now we're going to go ahead and go into a loan file. I'm going to click on my other tab. I could click on a loan here to go into a file. I could also use the looking glass at the top to search my full pipeline. We'll go into loan 1546 here for Alice. When I first come into a loan file, I'm greeted with a summary page. It's going to include key details about the loan. You'll also notice I've got the borrower's name, the loan status, lock status, as well as some new icons over here on the right side. We're going to click on this ellipses first and go into loan notes. As best practice, it's always good to come into a loan, take a look at the different notes that are on a file, make sure that I'm up to speed. When I first came in, I have this loan prioritized so other users can see it right away. If I were to click on this filter, I'll see other notes on the file. So these will be listed in a thread-like format based upon the subject or category. And the category can control the security on who can see these different loan notes in the file. Down below, Borrower Center, that is our point of sale that comes with Mortgage Cadence. It's on the same database, so we can use that to communicate between a borrower on Borrower Center and message back and forth using the loan notes, but then they would not have access to see all these other internal loan note categories. We also have access to loan tasks. So we saw the tasking dashboard before, where we take that process of taking a loan from origination to post-closing and break it up and assign out different tasks to different departments. Some of these tasks will have hyperlinks on them, which would navigate a user to a particular page, makes it a little bit faster to get there and complete their details that are needed for that task. And tasks can also be enforced to prevent a loan from moving to one step to the next if desired. That is all configurable through MCP admin, which is a tool that comes with the system where you can build in different halts, warnings, or alerts based upon your organization's standards. Now, next up, we're going to click over here into what we call our favorites drawer. I have the ability to open or close the favorites drawer with the small icon in the bottom left. The favorites drawer is going to include information about my loan. So if I were to show paying down some liabilities or adding some new liabilities, we'd see the DTI update in real time. If I updated the payment, same thing would happen there. And I also have favorited pages and workflow collections. A page would be an example like this disclosure delivery tracking. I can use this to track the details on the loan of loan estimates and other documents that have been sent out. Workflow collections is anywhere we see this 2-page icon. That is a series of pages to guide a user through a certain experience within the file. Now I'm going to origination as an example. I'd be able to click on the next or back buttons, but this is going to be available for processors all the way through post-closing. And we've given the ability to modify some of the pages within workflow collections using a tool we call UI Designer. All of the fields that we see on these pages have corresponding field IDs, so they can be incorporated into multiple pages, and that information will persist across different pages in the user interface. This workflow collection has a total of 16 pages, could have more or less depending upon the loan program or details of the loan. If I had a rental property, I may see things like a rental income calculator, a FHA or VA loan, some additional pages to populate on information I would need. And on the flip side, if I did not have mortgage insurance required on this loan, we'd see a page like that hidden to drive a user through a critical path of what they need to complete. Next up, we're going to talk over another included feature of MCP, Native Product and Pricing Engine. Mortgage Cadence Product and Pricing allows me to explore different products and eligibility. I can view pricing, ultimately lock or request a lock on a loan, and I even have the ability for different users to go back and confirm or refer to worst case pricing if needed to make sure that we're pricing based upon the risk of the loan and the different activities that may have happened. Now this loan, I have requested a lock. If I wanted to confirm it, I could click lock action and confirm if I was a secondary marketing or admin user, and then go ahead and save and exit out of that. We're going to continue our tour here going through documents next, which would be the paperclip icon. MCP also includes imaging for MCP, which is document recognition and classification. So as documents come into the system, whether they're loan disclosures that are generated, third-party service responses, documents the borrower or loan officer or processor may have uploaded, they'll come in here to document tracking, where I can sort and filter those documents down to the different types. I can add notes to these documents. I can also comment on them as needed. Now to get documents out of MCP, Order Docs allows me to send out pre-approvals, things like loan estimates, closing packages, adverse action or withdrawal notices. I can order those packages. I can print them manually, send them electronically to a point of sale or email, and I can also send them via an integration with First American Print and Ship in the mail. These last two icons I'll briefly cover. Third-party services, I'll click on Services Overview. This would show all of the different services I may have run on this particular loan. So I could see those results by clicking on it. It will take me in, allow me to review the findings of that. We can also automate different services to run based upon different events or rules in the system. And utilities, this toolbox is where I would then allow a loan to move from one status to the next. So if I wanted to push a loan to underwriting, I could come into the utility toolbox, submit this loan to underwriting, and advance it forward. And for my underwriters and all other users, they're going to want to see the underwriting conditions module and all the conditions that are present on a loan. Within underwriting conditions, I can not only view all conditions, I could filter to see those that are outstanding. Underwriters can add conditions from a system library, and conditions can automatically be assigned either from AUS findings or from the details on the loan. From there, we have certain condition types that are deemed borrower facing or borrower friendly. If we see this blue icon that indicates that it is intended for the borrower, it would show up on their point of sale or different approval letters. When I get into a condition, I have links to pull up pages in a modal that pertain to the particular condition. I can also view and open up the documents that pertain to that condition and have that on another monitor or screen while I review. And I can also edit the language or see what is listed out if there's differences between AUS and a borrower facing condition. This sums up our demonstration of the Mortgage Cadence platform, also known as MCP. In summary, it is a highly responsive platform written in HTML5, so you can enjoy faster user experiences. We come out of the box with a best-in-class borrower point of sale called Borrower Center, embedded document prep and delivery through Document Center, imaging through Imaging for MCP, and we also have a closing collaboration tool that's included under the bundled offering. To learn more about MCP or to schedule a demonstration on other proposed solutions that MCP offers, check out our website by visiting mortgagecadence.com. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to hearing from you.